sing and play and learn new things each day. Hi, hello, and how do you do? We all welcome you. Learn and grow and make new friends.
Hello children, welcome you all. Today in this video we are going to do class 7th chapter 4th from your textbook Honeycomb. So without wasting the time, open your textbook and open the page number 55. The chapter which we are going to start today, that is The Ashes That Made Trees Bloom. Yes, this is the chapter name, The Ashes That Made Trees Bloom. Children, in this video we are going to complete the first part from the textbook chapter The Ashes That Made Trees Bloom. Only first part we are going to complete today, the introduction part of the chapter as well as the part first reading and explanation. So this chapter has been written by, retold by William Elliott Griffiths. Let me tell you the introduction part of the chapter, The Ashes That Made Trees Bloom. What it has consist here. As I informed you, it is not written, it has been retold. So about the story, I am going to tell you some points which are very important. So listen it very carefully. Children, this is a story which is retelling of an ancient Japanese folk tale. Yes children, it is a folk tale of Japanese, and it has been retold here. And it is a set an ancient time when the daimyos ruled the Japan. Yes children, this story was set at the time when in Japan the daimyos were ruling. What did he mean by saying the daimyos? What the word is going to refer here? Let me tell you. What is daimyos? Daimyos were the powerful noblemen or landlords in pre-modern Japan who ruled most of the country from their vast hereditary land holdings. Yes children, daimyos are landlords from the Japan who were having lots of properties, lands and the place, and they were powerful men. So they were ruling at that time when this story has been set. In the term dai literally means large and myo stand for modern, meaning private land. So landlords are the daimyos of the Japan. Daimyo were the most powerful feudal rulers from the 10th century to the middle 19th century in the Japan. See children, they ruled the Japan from 10th century to the 19th century. So their rule was too powerful that they ruled the Japan for longer time. So children, this is about the daimyos. We get to know about it now. So let me tell you more about the story. What the story has consist here. This is a story of an honest and hard-working old couple and their pet dog who dies. Sorry, the mistake, spelling mistake. See children, this is story about an honest and hard-working couple. Yes children, and the couple is old, not young. Old couple who were having the pet. Which pet? Yes, dog. But he dies. How? We will get to know about it in the explanation part of the chapter. The story explores how the cruel and cunning neighbors try to deceive the couple but meet an end. Disaster end. Children, we are having here in this chapter old couple, honest, hard-working couple, and also we are going to see a cunning neighbor couple itself, in this story who were very cunning, who were very cruel towards this old couple, and they tried many times to deceive them, to destroy them, but themselves they met a disaster end in the story. The spirit of dog gives solace and support to his master in an unexpected way. Solace in a sense support, comfortable zone. So when the dog dies, after death of the dog also, the dog has been, the spirit of dog has been helped the old couple in an unexpected way. So this is all about the story. Now let's start the reading as well as explanation of the chapter. Are you ready? Okay. Take pencil, children, in your hand. While explaining you, it will be easy to you to note it down the words meaning. Again, don't ask me to send separate. The ashes that made trees bloom. First part. In the good old days of the Daimos, there lived an old couple whose only pet was a little dog. Having no children, they loved it as though it were a baby. The old dame made it a cushion of a blue crepe, and at mealtime Muko, for that was its name, would sit on it as snug as any cat. Children, the stories start with the description of with the information of old couple, hardworking and honest couple who were not having children. So they have a pet dog in their house, and they were taking care of that pet dog as if it is a child for them, because they were not having the children. And they loved that pet dog a lot, and they made a cushion, a pillow for that dog with the blue crepe, a kind of a fabric, and it was too comfortable for that dog. And every time whenever it was having the meal, that time that dog sits on that pillow, and very comfortably it sits on that pillow and it has the food. And they named that dog as Muko. Muko, it is a name of a dog, pet dog of the old couple. The kind people fed the pet with tidbits of fish from their own chopsticks and all the boiled rice it wanted. Thus treated, the dumb creature loved its protectors like a being with a soul. Children, as I said you, they loved that dog too much because they were not having children. So they found that dog as if it is a child for them. And whenever the meal of the dog is tidbits food, fish of kind of a food, and boiled rice, and the couple used to feed the dog with their chopsticks, spoon. And that not only the couple was loving too much to the dog also loving the couple in that same way. And here the word dumb creature referred to the dog, and protectors, the word refers to old couple. The old man, being a rice farmer, went daily with hoe or a spade. Hoe, it is a weapon which used to dig the ground. Spade also, it is a weapon which is used a lot in the farm, in the field. Into the fields, working hard from morning until O Tento Sama, as the sun is called. O Tento Sama is considered to the sun. Had gone down behind the hills. So every day the old couple, how they were running their life. So here he is a farmer. The man is a farmer who works in his field. His field was growing the rice. So every day he used to go to the field. He is a rice farmer. So he used to go to the field every day by taking his weapons, hoe and spade. And this dog also every day following the farmer, the master. And the master used to work in the field till the sun sets. When it goes behind the hills, then only he used to stop his work. He used to come back to the house. Every day the dog followed him to work, never once harming the white heron that walked in the footsteps of the old man to pick up the worms, for the old fellow was patient and kind for everything that had life. And children, this old couple were not only good with the dog, they are very humble with all the animals or creature of the world who has the life. So while going to the farm, while going to the field, they used to meet every day a heron, white bird, it is a white heron. So they used to meet that bird, and this dog never harmed that bird, never ever harmed the bird. And the old man every day used to feed that bird also by giving some worms, and often turned sowed on purpose to give food to the birds. He used to feed the birds every day, how much it is possible from himself. One day the dog came running to him, putting his paws against his legs and motioning with his head to some spot behind. The old man at first thought his pet was only playing and did not mind it, but the dog kept on winning and running to and fro for some minutes. Yes, children, as usual, the routine was going on in the life of old couple. One day, when the old man was digging the ground and working in his field, that time the dog has come by running. It came very fastly and it started to behave in a different way. It was scratching, it was calling the master at some point. He thought for the first time maybe he is playing, but he was not like that. He was not playing. He was trying to convey something. He was trying to say something to the master. Then the old man followed the dog a few yards to a place where lively scratching, thinking it was possibly a buried bone or a bit of a fish. The old man struck his hoe in the earth when a pile of gold gleamed before him. Yes, children, when for the first thought he didn't concentrate on the actions of the dog, but afterwards when it was continued for longer time, so he followed the dog. Let me see why he is doing like that and where he is calling. So he thought and he went to that place where the dog was calling him. When he reached there, he saw the dog scratch at some point. So he thought maybe it is a place where somebody has hide bone or a fish, anything. So he digged it. Then when he digged that place, he was surprised by seeing a pile of gold, a bunch of gold which was gleaming before him. He was surprised and he was shocked. Thus in an hour the old couple were made rich. The good soul bought a piece of a land, made a feast for their friends, and gave plentifully to their poor neighbors. As for the dog, they pitied him till they nearly smothered him with kindness. So after getting that pile of gold, the poor couple became rich, and they made a formal dinner for everybody in the village, and they have given some amount also, some kind of amount to the poor people, and they appreciated the soul dog with their kindness. Now in the same village there lived a wicked old man and his wife, not a bit sensitive, yes, who had always kicked and scolded all dogs whenever any passed their house. Hearing of their neighbors' good luck, they coaxed the dog into their garden and set before him bits of fish and other dainties, hoping he would find treasure for them. But the dog, being afraid of the cruel pair, would neither eat nor move. Yes, children, after knowing about this feast and everything and the good luck of the old couple, the neighbor, the cunning neighbor who was living in the same village beside of the old couple, they were very greedy by seeing it. Usually they never likes the dogs, and whenever any dog passes in front of their house, they used to kick and they used to scold those dogs. So when they heard the good luck which has been brought by the dog of the neighbor, they brought him and they coaxed, in a sense seized him, and they offered him food in front of, they offered the food for that dog. But the dog, because of the afraidness, because he knows about them, because of afraidness, he didn't eat anything. Then they dragged him out of doors, taking a spade and hoe with them. No sooner had the dog got near a pine tree growing in the garden than he began to paw and scratch the ground as if a mighty treasure lay beneath. Children, after when the dog was not at all ready to eat the food, so they dragged him, they pulled him very badly, and they took their spades and hoe weapons to dig the ground, and they thought that this dog is going to find a pile of gold for them also. In this kind of greediness, they went by taking that dog near the pine tree, and dog also scratched at some point, so they started to dig that spot. Quick, wife, hand me the spade and hoe, cried the greedy old fool as he danced with joy. Then the courteous old fellow with a spade and the old crone with a hoe began to dig, but there was nothing but a dead kitten, the smell of which made them drop their tools and shut their noses. Children, when the dogs started to scratch that spot, so both husband and wives hurried and they left the dog. They hurried off digging the ground. When they dig the ground, they found a dead kitten. Yes, and the smell made them to close their noses. Furious at the dog, the old man kicked and beat him to death. Shit. And the old woman finished the work by nearly chopping off his head with the sharp hoe. They then flung him into the hole and heaped the earth over his carcass. Children, it is very bad to hear here that when they found the dead kitten in the hole in that place, they both were very furious that they are very cruel and cunning children. I can't explain you the level of cunningness in that neighbor. So when they found the dead kitten in that ground, they beat the dog very badly till the dog takes its last breath. Yes, and it is not only fine for that wife. She even chopped the head of the dog, and afterwards they buried him in a grave. The owner of the dog heard of the death of his pet and mourning for him as if he had been his own child, went at night under the pine tree. See children, the innocency of the old couple was too we can find here. They didn't even say a single word for that cunning neighbor. When they heard this news of death of their pet dog, they went and they felt bad and they mourned for that dog, and they went and they that pine tree, under the pine tree it was buried, so they went back at the night time. He set up some bamboos tubes in the ground such as are used before tombs, in which he put fresh flowers. Then he laid a cup of water and a tray of food on the grave and burned several costly sticks of incense. He mourned a great while over his pet, calling him many dear names, as if he were alive. When he heard that, they went there, they arranged some of the bamboos, flowers and tombs around the grave of the pet dog, and they mourned there for a long time, and he was crying badly by taking the dearing name for that pet dog, because they loved that dog very much as if it is a child for them. That night the spirit of the dog appeared to him in a dream and said, "Cut down the pine tree over my grave and make from it a mortar for your rice pastry and a mill for your bean sauce. At that night, when the dog has died, that night the dog, spirit of the dog, came into the dream of a man who was very depressed by hearing the death of the dog, came and said that where my grave was buried, where I am buried, there was a pine tree. So what you do, go and cut down it, and from that wood you make a mortar and machine. Mortar for rice mill, rice pastry, and one more is mill for making a bean sauce. So the old man chopped down the tree and cut out of the middle of the trunk a section about 2 feet long with a great labor, partly by fire, partly by the chisel. He scraped out a hollow place as big as a small ball. He then made a long handled hammer of wood, such as is used for pounding rice. When New Year's time drew near, he wished to make some rice pastry. When the rice was all boiled, Granny put into the mortar. The old man lifted his hammer to pound the mass into the dough, and the blows fell heavy and fast till the pastry was all ready for baking. Suddenly the whole mass turned into the heap of gold coins. When the old woman took the hand mill and filling it with the beans began to grind, the gold dropped like a rain. Children, when the dog said like that, so next morning the man went to the pine tree and he cut out it, and he made a mortar and mill from the wood of the pine tree. After that, when they prepared it, then they started to work on it. When they put the pastry of rice, it has converted into the heap of a gold. And when they put sauce, to make the sauce of beans, then the coins of gold were dropping as rain from that mortar. Meanwhile, the envious neighbor peeped in at the window when the boiled beans were being ground. When this was happening, the cunning, cruel neighbor who made the dog to die, who killed the dog, they were peeping, they were hiking from the window in the house of old couple. So they saw this all the scenery. Goody me, cried the old hag, as she saw each dripping of sauce turning into yellow gold, until in a few minutes the tube under the mill was full of a shining mass of gold. Within a few minutes, the mass of beans and the rice, boiled rice, was converted into the mass of gold. So the old couple were rich again. The next day, the stingy and wicked neighbor came and borrowed the mortar and magic mill. They filled one with boiled rice and the other with beans. Then the old man began to pound and the woman to grind. But at the first blow and turn, the pastry and sauce turned into the full mass of worms. Still more angry at this, they chopped the mill into the pieces to use as firewood. So next day, when they saw this one, after converting the bean sauce and the boiled rice into the gold mass, next day they went to the house of the old couple and they borrowed that machine and mill from that old couple. They took it to their house and they too tried to do the same way of converting bean sauce and boiled rice into the gold mass, but unfortunately it has not come in that same way. Instead of getting the gold mass, the old couple has got the fall mass of dead stingy, a kind of smelly worms out from that machine. So again they became too furious, to extreme anger. Because of that angerness, they chopped, they cut it, they destroyed completely that machine, and they started to use it as a firewood. This is the explanation of the first part. I hope you all have understood, and if you have any doubts, you can text me. I will reply it very soon. And here I have list outed some not many new words from the textbook from the first part. So you can take the screenshot or else you can pause the video and copy it in your classwork. It will be easy to you. And here also one more slide I have. Yes, these are the words which I got from the first part. Take the screenshot and write it in your classwork very neatly. I hope you are following all the instruction whatever has been given by the teacher.